Hello, dear students. So we were discussing about the reproduction in organisms, and we had a brief introduction that what uh, is the meaning of the reproduction and what is the importance and what are the different kinds of the diverse mechanisms. And we also have seen the immortality in the unicellular organisms, etc. Right? So now we will study more detail and technical aspect of the reproduction. So first in this lecture we will now see about the asexual mode of reproduction. So मैंने पहले आप लोग को एसेक्सुअल मोड ऑफ रिप्रोडक्शन के बारे में कुछ बेसिक फीचर्स बताए थे कि एसेक्सुअल मोड ऑफ रिप्रोडक्शन जहाँ भी होता है वहाँ सिंगल पेरेंट होते हैं और जो एक प्रॉपर गैमीट फॉर्मेशन होता है मायोसिस के थ्रू वो एसेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन में एब्सेंट होता है। अगर स्पेशलाइज्ड सेक्सुअल स्ट्रक्चर्स इसमें ज़रूर बनते हैं बट they cannot be categorized as the proper gametes because gametes are usually formed by meiosis, right? So here you have some special structures which we will be discussing in this lecture, but they are not formed by the meiosis. So we can say that the proper gamete formation is actually absent in the asexual mode of reproduction. और हमने जनरल फीचर देखा था कि आइडेंटिकल ऑफ स्प्रिंग्स होते हैं। बहुत सारे स्मॉल ऑर्गेनिजम्स के केस में हम उनको बोलते हैं कि दे आर क्लोन्स ऑफ ईच अदर बिकॉज दे आर जेनेटिकली एज वेल एज मॉर्फोलॉजिकली आइडेंटिकल। दैट मीन्स आइडेंटिकल का मतलब होता है 100% सिमिलर। ठीक है, सिमिलर का मतलब मैच कर रहा है दोनों में, लेकिन वो मैचिंग ज़्यादा भी हो सकता है, कम भी हो सकता है। देयर विल बी सर्टेन डिग्री ऑफ द मैचिंग, देयर विल बी 10% मैचिंग ऑफ ऑल्सो, देयर कैन बी 20% matching also, can be 50% matching, there can be 100% matching, right? So this matching or this similarity is measured in the terms of percent identity. So the 100% identity or perfect similarity is called as identical. Okay, so when we say identical or when we say morphologically and genetically identical, then these kind of the offsprings which are produced from a common parent, they are called as clones. हमने ये भी देखा था कि most of these unicellular organisms they actually carry out the cell division, and that is what we call the sexual reproduction, right? So for single cellular organisms, for single celled organisms or for unicellular organisms which is constituted by the protistans and monerans, these are two kingdoms in the Whitaker's classification, right? किस आप लोग को याद है? तो इसमें एक्चुअली जो सेल डिवीज़न है दैट इज़ इक्वलेंट टू द रिप्रोडक्शन, राइट? एक इम्पॉर्टेंट पॉइंट यहाँ पे नोटिस करने के आपको ये है कि जो मोस्टली क्या होता है, जो अलगी और फंजाई, अलगी क्या है? अलगी को हम ऑलरेडी हमने लास्ट ईयर पढ़ा था कि दे आर एक्चुअली दे बिलोंग टू these three groups: chlorophyceae, phaeophyceae, rhodophyceae, right? So they are very primitive plants and they are photosynthetic. So they are simple, they are categorized under very simple or very primitive plants. And fungi is a entirely different kingdom, right? So for fungi and for algae, there is one common thing about the reproduction, that because these are very primitive and these are very not very well differentiated organisms, so they follow usually the most common mode of reproduction in these two categories of organisms is the asexual mode of reproduction. So algae and fungi commonly divide by asexual mode of reproduction, but many times there is adverse conditions. That means एडवर्स कंडीशंस का मतलब ये हुआ कि जो एनवायरमेंटल कंडीशंस हैं वो हार्श हैं उनके ग्रोथ के लिए, उनके सर्वाइवल के लिए, जैसे कि हाई टेम्परेचर हो सकता है या स्केर्सिटी ऑफ वाटर, यानी कि बहुत ही ड्राई सिचुएशंस हो सकती हैं, या कुछ भी इस तरह का कंडीशंस जो उनके यूजुअल रूटीन सर्वाइवल के लिए डिफ़िकल्ट कंडीशंस हैं, उसमें क्या होता है कि दीज काइंड ऑफ ऑर्गेनिजम्स लाइक algae एंड फंजाई दे स्विच फ्रॉम द कॉमन मोड ऑफ asexual reproduction, they switch to the sexual mode of the reproduction. तो डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द अपॉर्चुनिटी और डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द नीड, algae and fungi carry out both modes of the reproduction, asexual mode of reproduction as well as sexual mode of reproduction. फेवरेबल कंडीशन है, बिल्कुल आराम से मस्ती वाला अगर टाइम है, बिल्कुल कोई टेंशन नहीं है, तो एसेक्सुअल मोड में रहेंगे, ठीक है। और आइडेंटिकल ऑर्गेनिजम्स होते रहेंगे, सब बिल्कुल एक दूसरे से घुलते मिलते जुलते एक दूसरे से ऑफस्प्रिंग्स रहेंगे, एक तरह के सब रहेंगे, मॉर्फोलॉजिकली एक तरह के दिखेंगे, जेनेटिकली एक तरह के दिखेंगे, उनमें कोई ज़्यादा लड़ाई झगड़ा, ज़्यादा वेरिएशन, ज़्यादा भेदभाव उसमें नहीं दिखेगा। लेकिन अगर एडवर्स कंडीशन हो गया फिर सबको अपनी अपनी पड़ जाती है, राइट, कि यू हैव टू, एवरीबडी हैज़ टू फर्स्ट थिंक ऑफ themselves. So there will be panic kind of situation, right, in the adverse situations. So in those kind of situations the organisms need certain variations, or they need certain tricks and techniques to alter their characteristics or properties slightly so that they can adjust in a better way in the altered conditions. So this variation is always provided by the सेक्सुअल मोड ऑफ रिप्रोडक्शन एज वी हैव डिस्कस, ठीक है। क्योंकि जो एसेक्सुअल मोड होता है उसमें तो सारे आइडेंटिकल ऑर्गेनिजम्स होते हैं जो भी प्रोजेनिस होते हैं, तो इसलिए सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन पे स्विच करने का पर्पज़ ये होता है कि सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन प्रोवाइड्स अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर वेरिएशन, एंड अंडर एडवर्स कंडीशंस व्हेन देयर इज अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर वेरिएशन द सर्वाइवल एडवांटेज एक्चुअली इंक्रीजेज। तो ये इसका लॉजिक है, ये उसके पीछे फिलॉसफी है। ओके, आई होप इट इज़ क्लियर टू यू. So now let us go into more detail in the asexual reproduction. So let us see modes of reproduction. तो modes of reproduction यानी कि reproduction किस किस तरह से होता है asexual reproduction. तो सबसे फर्स्ट एंड वेरी कॉमन, वेरी जनरल, rather we can say very old, very the first probably the first mode of reproduction identified is the binary fission. बाइनरी फिजन का एग्जांपल आपका ये देख लीजिए, ये एग्जांपल जो दिया है बाइनरी फिजन इन अमीबा आपके बुक में फिगर नंबर 1.2. ओके, तो यू कैन सी हियर दिस इज एन अमीबा. सो फर्स्ट what happens, this amoeba is a normal cell. It has lot of pseudopodia. It has indefinite shape. कोई इसका शेप जो है फिक्स नहीं है, राइट, कोई प्रॉपर इसका शेप नहीं है, it changes its shape. So it shrinks its pseudopodia. जो इसका ये निकला हुआ स्ट्रक्चर्स, ये सारे स्ट्रक्चर्स, it shrinks this pseudopodia and becomes roughly spherical or roundabout shape. Then what happens, there is a cell division, and one cell divides into two small cells, and these small cells are daughter cells, are smaller in size as compared to the parent cell. Here you can see the size. Okay, then these daughter cells, these small cells actually, again they grow and mature. So what happens in the binary fission is there is a cell division, and the daughter cell, they grow and mature and they become complete independent organisms, right? So this is a very simple mode of reproduction. This is observed in amoeba and paramecium. Okay, so this is one aspect of the asexual mode of reproduction. Then another interesting mode is budding. The famous example for budding is the yeast. Here you can see in this figure, again figure 1.2. So here you have this parent cell, and from parent cell there is a very small cell, okay, emerges out of this parent cell. So it's a bud like structure. So you can see that this big cell has divided into two cells. It is starting to divide into two cells, but here one parent cell is a big cell, but this daughter cell is a very small cell. That means this is an unequal division. Okay, unequal division, and this is bud is a small shaped, small sized organism, and it emerges out of the parental cell. Okay, and Then what happens eventually, this cell becomes independent cell. There is a complete division, and then this bud, this is small cell which has resulted from the unequal division of the cytoplasmic material, this separates out from the parent cell, and then it becomes a complete independent organism. Okay, so this is what happens in the budding. So for the budding, you have the unequal cell division, and small buds emerge, and eventually the bud separates and matures into a complete new organisms. So you note down these important points. You can draw this figure also, and sometimes it is asked in the board exam as well. So the famous and best example for budding is yeast. So after these two binary fissions and buddings, there are certain specialized structures which participate in the asexual mode of reproduction, and these are the zoospores, conidia or conidiospores, birds, gemmules. So these also we will discuss. But before this, let us study one more mode of reproduction which is related to the uh, or more closer to these two modes, which is binary fission and budding. So as we have seen that amoeba usually performs the binary fission. Okay, this is the common mode of reproduction in the amoeba and paramecium. But there is another mode of reproduction called as sporulation, which is observed in amoeba also. So what is sporulation? Let us see here. So whenever there is adverse environmental conditions, here you can see this is a normal amoeba. When there is adverse or unfavorable environmental conditions, this will again withdraw its pseudopodia, and it will become roughly spherical or rounded in shape. It will withdraw the pseudopodia, and this cell will start sort of becoming compact, and then it will start secreting a very tough or very resistant material outside this cell. Okay, and so this is how it makes this kind of structure. This is a three layered very hard structure. So this is called a cyst formation or encystation. So during encystation, this normal cell of the amoeba turns into a structure of cyst. So encystation or cyst formation involves a three-layered hard covering which is secreted around this particular cell, and it protects this amoeba cell from the unfavorable conditions or from the harsh environment. This is how it protects itself. But when there is a return of the favorable environment or favorable conditions, what will happen? This cyst somehow it will sense the favorable environment, and this encysted cell actually will start dividing. So inside this casing, inside this cyst itself, this cell will start dividing. Okay, and it will divide several times, and several huge number of cells will be produced inside this cyst itself, and this is called as multiple fission. Earlier we had seen binary fission. Okay, inside cyst there is a fission, and from one cell multiple cells are produced rather than just two cells, and this is called as multiple fission. Multiple fission. So encysted cell actually divides by multiple fission, and it produces several small structures. Okay, and these small structures are specialized structures, and they are called as pseudopodiospores. Okay, so these pseudopodiospores, these are the small cells like structures, small specialized structures formed by multiple fission inside the uh, cyst of the amoeba or any cell which exhibits, or any organism which exhibits sporulation. So this cyst wall actually, upon favorable conditions, finally it bursts out, and once it bursts out, it becomes open, and then spores are liberated in the surrounding medium, and these pseudopodiospores, they come out into the environment, and then again they germinate and grow and mature into a independent new organisms. Okay, So sporulation is a very important uh, and very interesting mode of reproduction in the small organisms, and sporulation is actually observed in various bacteria, and there are many uh, pathogenic bacteria, many pathogenic organisms, many pathogenic fungi which exhibit the sporulation, and these spores, these pseudopodiospores or these cysted organisms actually are said to be a very resistant to the very harsh environmental conditions, and it actually provides enough huge advantage to these cells to survive under uh, adverse conditions. So it, as compared to any other mode of reproduction, sporulation is actually a very protective mode, and it is a very efficient mode, and that is why those bacteria or those pathogens which exhibit sporulation, ऐसे बैक्टीरिया या ऐसे सेल्स जो स्पोरुलेशन के थ्रू रिप्रोडक्शन करते हैं, उनकी पैथोजेनिसिटी बहुत हाई होती है, उनसे जो डिसीज़ होती हैं, भयानक बीमारियां होती हैं, और उनका ट्रीटमेंट भी थोड़ा सा रिलेटिवली डिफ़िकल्ट होता है, क्योंकि वो अपने आप को प्रोटेक्ट करना, अपना हिफाजत करना, अपने आप को सेव करना के मामले में वो लोग ज़्यादा स्मार्ट है। ओके, तो स्पोरुलेशन के बाद नाउ लेट अस स्टडी अबाउट द very specialized structures which certain organisms use for reproduction. So first let us see zoospores. Okay, so these are not actually true gametes, but sometimes they are also included, or they are included under the term of the gametes, but these are actually uh, specialized structures, and they are asexual reproductive structures. We can say them as asexual gametes also. Okay, uh, so zoospores are very small structures. So these are microscopic structures, and they are very specialized reproductive structures, and they are observed in fungi and simple plants. Example, algae. So fungi and several algae produce zoospores, and they are very small structures, and the very characteristic feature or important feature for zoospores which separates these structures from other structures is that zoo, as the term zoo means animal, right? सो जू स्पोर्स मीन्स एनिमल्स का जो पेक्यूलरिटी होता है या फीचर होता है जो दूसरे एनिमल से जो दूसरे ऑर्गेनिज्म से उनको सेपरेट करता है, वो क्या है? मोबिलिटी, राइट? सो एक्चुअली यू कैन रिमेंबर इट बाय दिस वे दैट जू स्पोर्स हैव दिस जूओटिक प्रॉपर्टी और जूनोटिक प्रॉपर्टी, दैट मीन्स जू स्पोर्स आर मोटाइल। तो ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट फीचर है और ये पूछा जाता है एग्जाम्स में, तो आप इसको याद रखिए कि जूस्पोर्स क्या होते हैं? वेरी स्मॉल माइक्रोस्कोपिक स्ट्रक्चर्स, दे आर स्पेशलाइज्ड एसेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्टिव स्ट्रक्चर्स, एंड these स्पोर्स और these स्ट्रक्चर्स आर एक्चुअली मोटाइल। तो मोटिलिटी इनको कैसे प्रोवाइड होगी? यूजुअली दिस मोटिलिटी विल बी प्रोवाइडेड बाय सम फ्लैजेला, राइट? एंड the example is many fungi and algae, and the best example of the algae is Chlamydomonas. So Chlamydomonas produces zoospores, and this is very famous and very important example, you should remember it. So then let us see another mode of asexual reproduction where conidia are produced. So conidia are produced by the penicillium. So penicillium is Penicillium notatum, as we have seen. This is a bacterium and unicellular organisms, and there are many fungi, many algae also which reproduce by the conidia formation. So here you can see in this figure that how the organism of the penicillium is producing conidia. So before that, let us see this zoospores of the Chlamydomonas. Here you can see this is the structure of the Chlamydomonas. These are the Chlamydomonas organisms. These are two flagella, and they help them to become motile. So here you can see these zoospores have been produced. They come out and then they develop into a complete organism. This is the asexual mode of reproduction. So these are the gametes, and they will develop into the complete mature organism eventually. And As you should know, you would have, if you remember correctly, from your previous year syllabus, we had seen the structure of the Chlamydomonas. You can say, if you remember, it was a filament like structure, which was a non-motile structure actually. But here you can see the zoospores, they are motile structures. Okay, ये छोटे छोटे देखिए आप, ये फ्लैजिला लगा हुआ है, और they can just move, and they can settle, and then they will develop into a plant like filamentous like structures, multicellular structures. Okay, so now let us see the conidia. Conidia, you can see that these conidia actually develop, you can see sort of exogenously. So here you see these cells, they divide, and at the tip of these cells, these small cells like structures, spherical rounded structures, they are appearing, and eventually they will separate out, or they will just become independent. And these, each of these conidia, so these specialized structures, they are not called as buds, but they are called as conidia, and they are uh, produced like this is like a fruit like structure. So this is actually a fruiting body, or conidiospore we can say. So conidiospores are producing these specialized structures called conidia, and these each conidia will shed off, and this can grow and develop into a, again into a new organism. So this is how it can serve as an asexual mode of reproduction for the penicillium. So then after conidia, let us see buds. So buds, or budding is observed in several organisms. Budding we had seen in the yeast, but buds here actually is not about the buds which are arising out of the unicellular or single celled organisms. Rather, like in hydra, here you can see in this figure, hydra is a multicellular organism, as you have already studied last year, that it is a coelenterate group of the organism. It belongs to a coelenterata, multicellular organism, and here it is not a cell division as we had seen in case of the budding of the yeast, but here the complete organism itself is making a bud-like structure, which is a miniature small bud, miniature small organism, miniature hydra. And this bud actually, small hydra, it grows, and then it eventually separates out, and it grows into an adult hydra. So this bud formation in hydra is actually again a mode of reproduction. Then in case of sponges, you have these gemmules. So gemmules are actually a mode of reproduction in the sponges. So here you can see in this figure that this is the sponge, this is the spicules or spongin fibers as you already know it. And here you have this cavity, and through which this water goes, as we have seen all these structures in detail in last year. So these some of the cells from these fibers will actually become a reproductive structure, and they will develop into these small units of these gemmules, and this gemmule can develop into a complete sponge like structure again. So this is again, these gemmules provide a asexual mode of reproduction. So then there is another mode of reproduction which is also seen in the hydra, in addition to the buds formation, that is called as fragmentation. So what happens in fragmentation? Actually in fragmentation, the body of the organism, the complete organism which is there, actually it breaks into distinct pieces. जैसे हम एक लीफ को ले लें और उसको तोड़ करके उसके कई सारे टुकड़े कर दें, और each of this fragment of the leaf, if it is able to develop into the complete organism, this is nothing but various fragments of the leaf has become independent organisms. So in this way, one organism actually breaks into several organisms. You can cut it down, or it sometimes it is teared down into several pieces. So body of the organism breaks into distinct pieces or fragments, and then each fragment actually is capable of developing or growing into an adult. And the best example is hydra. We also have seen already in last year that planaria, the flatworm, that also develops, or it that also shows the fragmentation mode of the reproductive organism. If you cut planaria into four pieces, all these four pieces will develop into independent organisms, right? We had already seen this. So this was about the specialized structures for the asexual mode of reproduction. Now, the asexual mode of reproduction in case of the plants actually, uh, let me tell you that in case of the animals, only sexual mode of reproduction is observed. If you take the Whitaker's classification, there are five kingdoms. So we have seen that uh, most of the primitive or unicellular organisms exhibit the asexual mode of reproduction, right? But these kingdom Animalia, these animals, uh, which we already have studied in detail in the kingdom. In the plant kingdom or in animal kingdom. So plant in the animal kingdom we had studied all the details about the animals. So these animals actually divide by the sexual mode of reproduction, but for the plant kingdom, for the higher plants actually, higher plants means these gymnosperms and angiosperms, you have both asexual mode of reproduction as well as sexual mode of reproduction. For higher animals or for animals you will see only sexual mode, but for higher plants you see both asexual mode as well as sexual mode. But for plants, asexual mode term is not often used. The asexual mode of reproduction, this term is often used for the smaller organisms, for the lower organisms, or for the unicellular organisms. But for the plants, for big organisms, uh, so for these plants usually we use a term which is called as vegetative reproduction instead of the asexual reproduction. So actually both these terms are synonymous. Vegetative reproduction means asexual reproduction here. So for plants, for asexual reproduction in plants, we can say this as a vegetative reproduction in plants. So these small units, like specialized structures, as we have seen earlier, in case of the lower organisms, uh, we called them as zoospores or conidia or pseudopodiospores or gemmules. But in case of plants, these small structures would give rise to a complete new organism or new plant. These vegetative structures, they are called as vegetative propagules. This is a general term for the asexual mode uh, of the plants which grow and develop into a complete plant. So as we have seen earlier in the morphology chapter that there are these variations like runner, rhizome, sucker, tuber, offset, bulb, bulbil, leaf buds. So many things we have seen. So these, uh, as we have seen it earlier also in the chapter of morphology, that these runners they keep on spreading on the ground uh, towards the all the sides, and they make a mat like structure. So these runners, when they are cut in the at the internodes, these nodes actually, uh, whenever they come in contact with the damp soil or water, whether they are cut or even if they are not cut, what will happen that these nodes will develop uh, uh, certain roots. So these will produce roots upon the favorable conditions, and these once they develop the roots at the nodes, even if you separate them from the parental plant, they can grow into the new plant. This is how most of the grasses or even this sugarcane plants actually are propagated or developed. So this is the very peculiar feature for the grasses. So the runners can do the vegetative reproduction or asexual reproduction. Similarly, rhizomes of the ginger. So as you can see here in this figure also, that these plants you will see uh, that the rhizomes of the ginger, here you can see these rhizomes are nothing but the modified stems, right, which are underground modifications of the stem. So these are nothing but the underground buds, and these buds actually of the rhizome, uh, which may be a ginger, it may be a banana, they can develop into new plant structure. So these rhizomes can be broken, they can be taken out, you can just break it from here or here, and then if you plant it under favorable conditions, each will develop from its bud, it will give rise to a new plant. Then suckers, tubers means like potato is a tuber, so there is eyes of the potato. Here you can see these eyes of the potato. If you cut, even if you plant this whole potato, this will also develop into a potato. But even if you cut one bud, like अगर आप यहाँ से इसको काट करके इतना और इसको प्लांट कर दोगे सॉइल के अंदर और फेवरेबल कंडीशंस प्रोवाइड करोगे, so this will develop into a new plant. So that means the eyes of the potato tuber follow a asexual mode or vegetative mode of reproduction. Similarly, offsets of uh, water hyacinth. Here you can see this water hyacinth, and this is the connection between these two. This is called as offset, right? We have seen already. So water hyacinth, as you already know, it's a very common weed in the water bodies, in the ponds. And water hyacinth actually is an invasive species in India. It was brought from outside because of its beautiful leaves and beautiful flowers. It looks very nice. Okay, so but it has a very disadvantage that it divides vegetatively, and it grows and develops so fast in the water bodies that it overwhelms the pond, and uh, it just covers the entire lake or entire pond. And this is how the lake becomes deficient in the oxygen, and due to deficiency in the oxygen in the lake or in the pond, the aquatic organisms including the fishes or tortoises, they will start getting died. So water hyacinth is a very undesirable plant where there is aquatic organisms grown in the water bodies. So this is called as terror of Bengal because the farmers want to get rid of the water hyacinth, but it divides and propagates so fast that it becomes very difficult to remove them, because as you keep it removing, but within few months it again grows and it just covers all the pond. Again you remove it, so it has become a very point of anxiety, or it has become a very drawback for the people who depend on the ponds or who depend on the uh, growing of the organisms in water bodies or lakes. Then you have the bulbs of like onion or garlic. These bulbs can develop into the organisms. Then bulbil of the agave, as you can see here, this is the bulbil of the agave. These birds, these can actually develop into a independent plant. And then the leaf buds in this bryophyllum plant, you can see this is the leaf of the bryophyllum, and these notches in the leaf of the bryophyllum, when they touch the soil or damp place, they can develop the roots, and these adventitious buds actually will develop. And these adventitious buds will, if you separate them and plant into a soil, they can develop into a complete mature plant of the bryophyllum. So leaf buds can give rise to the again complete plant in case of the bryophyllum. And let me tell you, this eyes of the potato tuber and leaf buds, adventitious buds in the bryophyllum leaves, in the notches, these are very very important examples, and you must remember it. It is asked several times in the NEET or board exams. So especially bryophyllum, these adventitious buds, this is very important and you must remember it. Okay, so till now we have discussed all the major ways of all the major modes of the asexual reproduction which are observed in the simple organisms, in the lower organisms, in the unicellular organisms, or inside the or in the higher organisms, like the plants, higher plants, or in case of the animals. So uh, we have seen the binary fission, multiple fission, pseudopodiospores. So you have seen sporulation. We have seen all these different modes of vegetative propagules which give rise to new plants. So Now we have completed this portion of the asexual reproduction for this chapter. Now in the next lecture, we will discuss about the sexual uh, modes of reproduction. Okay, thank you.